Hey residents of Meepletown, today we are looking at the Pop Funkoverse
My kids love it when I do that.
Harry Potter edition. Let's just get to the table and check out Funkoverse. All right, so here we have the setup for the flags scenario. Now you can play, this board is double-sided. There's 4 different scenarios in the box, but I'll just give you a brief rundown of this specific scenario. We each have a flag on both sides. We're trying to be the first one to get 6 of these crystals, so 6 points. You're gonna get points from knocking somebody else out, you get 1 point. You also, if you interact with one of these letters, you get 1 point. And then finally, if I can make it over here to be on your flag or adjacent to it, then I can bring my character back to the starting area. And if I do that, then I'm gonna get 2 points for that. So let's just jump into it. So really what you're gonna do, we've each got 3 characters. I've got Harry Potter, Hermione Granger, and the Auror. And we're gonna be able to take 2 actions per character, and then once we've both taken all of our actions for all of our characters, then we'll swap the first player marker and do it over and over again.
So it is a battle of good versus evil.
That's correct, and I think good is going to win.
Didn't last time.
All right, so first thing I'm going to do is you can, as an action, you can move up to 2 spaces. So I'm gonna move Hermione Granger up 2 spaces. That's my first action. Now she also has a special action called Accio. And an Accio, I can pick an ally or token Hermione can see, and that's within 3 squares, which is Harry Potter, and I can place it adjacent to her. And so that's what I'm gonna do. In order to do that, I'll have to take my yellow marker and place it on my second spot on my cooldown track. And so then doing that, Accio Harry, and he'll come up to this spot right here, so that he'll be ready to do some good stuff on his turn. Then what I'm gonna do is exhaust Hermione Granger, and that is my first character's action.
There you go.
Your turn.
All right, so I am gonna go 1, 2, and then that's my first action. Then for my second, I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I'm just gonna stay back here, Dean.
Oh, you made him a little mistake there, John.
What did I do?
So you can move adjacent or diagonal, but you cannot go diagonal.
I went like this and then here.
Oh, I thought you ended up here. I'm sorry.
That was one move, and then my second.
Oh, there we go. That was your whole move. Okay,
that was my whole move.
I got you. I'm sorry. I'm just so excited about beating John.
Hey,
I want to make sure that I'm
sometimes the rules police are wrong.
All right. So you're going to exhaust Bellatrix Lestrange over there, and I'm going to take my action by moving Harry Potter. Harry Potter.
No.
No? Okay. All right.
Rejected.
All right, so with Harry Potter, I'm going to exhaust his character.
Potter?
Harry Potter! Harry
You
Potter.
sound like an old
Harry Potter.
Like an old
Harry Potter.
grandma.
Whoops. I moved that in the wrong spot. There we go.
Oh my god.
All right, so Harry's going to move 1, 2 spaces, and then for my second action, I'm going to interact with this token, put it on my 4th spot of my cooldown track, so that will come back out onto the board once it's moved all the way down that track. And because I did that, I'm going to take 1 victory point, making me the victor. No? All right,
Nope.
So that's my turn.
Okay, so for my turn, I'm gonna take Lord Voldemort.
He's not Cthulhu. It's
Yes, he is. 1, 2, that's my first move. And then I'm gonna go 3, 4 to set myself up for next round, because I get to go first next round.
That's pretty nice. That's not good for Harry.
Bring it on,
He's
Harry.
just staring him down right now.
Bring it on, Harry.
All right, so then for my last action, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go straight up the middle. How about that? 1, 2, 3, 4. Now these basic characters, the Auror and the Death Eater, they don't have any special actions like the other ones do. So they're just going to be taking normal actions. And so I just moved up 4 spaces. And that's going to be my
Death Eater is a dope name. Death Eater.
That's right.
All right, so I'm going to actually go 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to have my Death Eater go over to the other side of the board there, maybe do a little interaction. Maybe, you never know.
We'll see what happens.
Whoa!
I'm getting all choked up over here. I need some
It's
water.
because I did cast a frog spell on your throat. Frog in the throat.
All right, so then what we're going to do is move everything down on the cooldown track, which you don't have anything.
Got nothing.
All right, we're going to unexhaust our characters. Then I'm going to take the first player marker, flip it over to the dark side,
Daddy.
and give it to John.
All right, so for the first move I'm going to do is
Probably attack me in the face. That's what you're going to do.
Fiend Fry? Fry? What does that say?
Fiend Fire.
Fiend Fire. Fry. Yeah, I was looking at the letters backwards. The Y is before the R, not opposite.
Reading is tricky.
It is. It's a tricky thing for me. Okay, which is going to make me take this and put it all the way at the top.
This is
a big move.
Yes.
But it's range 2, so he's 2 away. I get to roll 6 die and just destroy him.
That's right.
All right. I'm going to do it maybe up here. Boom.
Ooh, that's
3.
bad.
So, you haven't talked about the way the damage are, so go ahead, I'll let you do that.
Okay, so these, if you're attacking those stars, is what you want to see, because that's 1 hit. Now, the exclamation marks, that's going to be 3 hits. Now, if I roll that on a defense, it also counts as 3 defense. So that works on both sides.
Either or. And then I got another one there. So, I'm doing 3, 4, 5 attack. Now, Harry has how many die do you get to use? 2. So,
it's possible that I could defend
if
this.
you roll both exclamation points, you stop it.
Which we have seen happen.
Yeah.
Not likely.
Yes.
Right, nothing. All right, so Harry's going to be knocked down, which isn't
Take that, sucker.
awful. It's not great.
Awful, actually.
And we'll kind of explain that a little more as we go.
And we'll see. I mean, I don't know if that was necessarily a great move, because if I get to knock him down again, if I get a kick him while he's down, I'll get one of these. So we'll see. But yep.
All right, so that is your entire... that was just one action.
That was one action.
Sorry.
Yep.
So you get to take another action. Did you take 2 actions with...
Oh, I did? Oh, yeah. Good call. I
potentially-
was so excited about knocking Harry down that I didn't take another action. Okay, so for my next move, as I try to kick Harry while he's down, I am going to use my dagger because it's challenge 2, which allows me to roll 2 dice, but also says this character may do an extra non-challenge action. So, I'm going to move 1 step closer so that I can now roll 2 die and try to knock him off the board. And if I do, I get a crystal as my award.
That's right.
Or reward. So here we go. Let's do this. In your face!
All right, not
You
bad.
have to yell that whenever you roll the dice.
I will
2.
not do that. I'm more
2.
humble than that.
2.
All right, so rolling 2.
Yeah!
No.
No!
While Harry is knocked down in defense against the challenge, you can change one of those Starburst to a shield, meaning I'm safe. All right, which is really, really good for me.
He pretty much ruined my entire turn. Dang it.
That's right. Okay, so I need to figure out what I'm going to do. So with Harry, I can just, as my whole action, just stand up, and that's my whole turn. I'm kind of in a tough spot over here, though. I would really like to be able to... I'd really like to be able to have Harry... Hermione kind of pull him towards her again, but that's going to waste her action. So I think what I will do is, as much as I don't want to do this, I'm going to use Harry's whole turn just to stand up and get all up in his grill, and that will be his whole turn. That's the rally action, and that's going to be his action.
See, I don't like this, because then he can just thwack me.
That's right.
So...
I like it.
I know you do. I know you like it a lot. 1, 2, and then I can do that. We can see within 3 squares. Okay. So I'm actually, I wanted to interact here, but instead I am going to go 1, 2, and then I'm going to do this action that says, which is going to make me use my last one of these for now. Control a rival Bellatrix can see within 3 squares. So I can see in my line of sight within 3 squares. So I'm going to place this on the 3, which stinks because it's going to take a while for these to come down.
Right.
But that means I am going to take old Harry so he doesn't just thwack me and move him 1, 2 spaces away to where he's going to have an action to come and then attack me instead of just kick me while I'm down.
Yeah, that's right. Not bad, John.
Maybe.
So, yeah. All right, so I've got a couple of options here. What I could do is...
I'm wasting a lot of
What
these.
I thought about doing is moving Hermione up here and using the Accio again to pull this towards me to get it away from the Death Eater. And so that does sound pretty appealing. It's a challenge. It's a challenge to think about what you want to do here. I cannot move her into a spot where I can attack the Death Eater. But I think what I will do is... I think I will do that. I'm going to move there. So I'm going to take 2 actions, and now I am within 1, 2, 3, and it is within my line of sight. And so I will do Accio again, Accio letter D, and I can put it into a spot adjacent to me, which this spot is adjacent to me.
Is that within your line of sight? I thought that would be your line of sight.
That's correct. Like your the middle of the space to the middle of the space, and it's 3 away, so I can go 1, 2, 3. Yep.
Okay, well, I just want to make sure
trying to rules lawyer.
I just want to make sure you weren't cheating there.
All right, so I place it.
That's 2 rules lawyering that got rejected both times.
I know. Denied. All right, so that's going to be my entire turn, unfortunately, which does kind of set me up in a bad
it's good
spot.
for you, though, because I was totally going to come after you there.
That's right.
But I am going to attack you with my Death Eater. So 1, 2 is my first action that I'm going to do. All right, so now that my Death Eater is not staring at you quite in the eyes, but a little diagonal, eye to eye.
It's a little less menacing when it's a cardboard piece, like right there.
It is a little less menacing. All right, so I am going to attack you, which I will do this move, which will challenge 2. So I'm going to roll 2 die. In your face! Ooh, that was a bad roll.
It's not a great roll, but Hermione's defense is only 1, so you could still very well not do any damage at all. All right, but what you did do is set me up in position to be able to attack you. Now, here's what I could do. You have Voldemort only has a defense of 1. Your Death Eater has a defense of 2, and so I'm going to use my aura to run in here to 1, 2, and I'm going to attack you.
Bring it on, buddy boy.
All right.
Bring it on, buddy boy.
The aura is going to roll 2, and I'm just going to get a 6 right here. 2. You can still block it, but you got to get an exclamation mark.
Which is what I'm going to do. In your face!
You did get 1. It's quite the strong aura that's going to knock you down. Now, here's what it does.
I'm kind of annoyed at myself yelling that every time I roll, by the way. I'm done.
Yeah, we're both done. As we move into the next round, which we're not going to do this, but I would be starting, and so I could start off with the aura to try to knock him out to get a victory point. So we'll just
handily in the lead.
Finish out this round. So what we do is we move these down the cooldown track. This one comes off back into my supply, and then we unexhaust our characters, and then
That is it. I'm in trouble in this game.
You are definitely in trouble. By the way, on a side note, when you use your dagger, that number up there, we just sometimes forget to do this, but the dagger goes on to the 1 of the cooldown track. So that actually would have been coming off right now anyway. So it didn't make a difference. But anyway, let's get to the art and components first. What do you think, John?
Oh, okay. The art and components are great.
Amazing.
I mean, these Funko Pops are sweet.
They really pop on the table.
Something. And the art on the board is nice. These are fine. The dice look good.
Yeah, they're nice. Nice custom dice. I really like the victory point markers. They're just, they could have just been pieces of cardboard, but they went with these plastic crystals, which I think are fantastic. So I'm big 2 thumbs up for.
Yeah, the only negatives would be maybe if there were like actual flags or something, and this is. I mean, I know why you do it, because you can't have... I mean, they're putting a lot of money into getting these Funko Pops, but Death Eater being a token that says Death Eater, But, I mean, that's a minor quibble.
That's right. And as you start adding different sets together, if you go, if you pick this up, you're going to want to pick up other sets. And so these tokens are going to go away. You're probably going to add in, if we picked up the other Harry Potter set, you would probably add in Draco Malfoy, I would add in Ron Weasley, and we'd probably play that way. So these don't bother me as much, because I'm guessing if you go down this rabbit hole,
really into it,
you're going to pick up a lot of other sets.
Yeah.
But the gameplay, let's get to that.
Go for it, man. I started the art and components.
All right, so I really enjoy skirmish-style games, and I think this one is a lot of fun for me for a lot of different reasons. One, I think the cooldown track is really fantastic. I love that you have to make these choices. I can take this action, but I'm going to lose this token that I won't be able to use with my other character, or I won't be able to take that action again. I think that's pretty fantastic. So
it's kind of like how I went big or went home.
That's right.
I went home.
You did go home. Well, we didn't play out the whole game. typically John beats me in this game, funny enough. But so I really enjoy that part. I enjoy the different characters that you add in. You know, right now there's the DC characters. There is Golden Girls.
Golden Girls, baby.
Rick and Morty, I think, is out now. So, you know, I could be playing with Blanche on my team with Harry Potter and Batman. You know, I think that's fantastic. And I love that. And I love that they're going to be doing more sets. And so you're just going to be able to add in more goodness. And once you get really good and know the characters, you can start planning which characters work well with each other based on the different tokens that you get and how their abilities kind of play off each other. So I really enjoy that.
Yeah. So let's see, positively, let me say this caveat. I'm not a huge skirmish type game fan. So I just want to let you all know that as I make comments about this, because I'm not huge into that chessy, you make a move, I make a move, you make a move, I make a move. I'm not, that's not necessarily my style as well, because sometimes it can lead to a ton of AP, which, you know, surprisingly, we have never experienced that because you and I don't typically think too much when we play games.
No. Just go for it.
You really could. There's actually quite a few moves here, and I'll say that in a positive vein as well, because I thought Funko Pop game, it might be ultra simple. And it's easy enough to teach, but there are 6 different actions that I could take on these different things in conjunction with the basic actions that I'm taking over the course of the game. So you really could sit back and go, all right, how can I, oh, he's going to do that, then I'll do this, and he's going to do that, then I'm going to do this. Maybe I put my character in this position, then see what he does, and we kind of go from that. So I like that. But again, it's not necessarily my favorite style of gaming. So I think that for the gameplay for me overall, it's just okay. Like and that's also because it's not my style.
Sure.
And so I want to again say that it did impress me with the a little bit of complexity to the game, and as Dean mentioned, this track is really neat.
Yeah.
Now, a negative for me also is there's a ton of luck in this game.
Sure.
A lot of luck. I mean, which, as you can tell, we played a game where I think Dean was playing as well as I was, but I won fairly handily because he just didn't roll very well, right?
Sure, yeah. I think some of that luck is mitigated by the different actions and smartly using those and smartly positioning your players to not be attacked. So...
And I think that is not going to happen every time either.
Right.
But it can happen in the game where someone's just rolling a bunch of the exclamation points and someone else is just not rolling that well. So, but on the positive side of that, it leads to a lot of hooting and hollering.
Yeah, it does.
So there was times when we were just yelling and laughing hysterically as we played this game. So if you don't mind the luck factor and enjoy that excitement of roll, then you might really like that.
Yeah, because you know that's kind of a quality of a lot of these skirmish games is the luck factor in, you know, sometimes it's cards, but a lot of times it's rolling dice, and there are ways to mitigate that in a lot of skirmish games. And I would say in some ways there's ways to not necessarily mitigate the dice rolls, although there are different abilities that will let you do that. So like with Harry's item that he has in his hand, he can change one of his dice to a 3 exclamation mark. So that's like a one-time use, and then it goes on to your 3 of the cooldown track. So like there's ways to change that, but there still is very much that luck factor when you roll.
Yeah,
I'm okay with that, but I get why people would have an issue with it.
Yep. You gonna do final thoughts?
Let's do it. Why don't you start it off?
Okay, so as I mentioned before, this is not necessarily my style of game. It is better than I thought it would be, though. It really is. I do think that if you're into Funko Pops, this may be something that you really get excited about.
Yeah,
and you're not necessarily.
No, I'm not.
But you...
I don't dislike them. It's just like I'm not a collector or anything. We've got a couple around the house. But that's it. So.
Yeah, and I think it's really neat how Dean mentioned that you could put Golden Girls with these. So if like you're into see, the thing about me is I'm more into mechanical, and I'm happy with a dry Euro game. So the Golden Girls coming into this game is neat, but it's not like, yes, I'm sold on it, because that's just not for me. Now for Dean, he's much more of a theme guy, so that's something that might really. So if you love theme, that's cool.
Yeah,
that's cool. I mean, I think unless you're just like, the Golden Girls can't exist in the Harry Potter universe, that's not allowed, then maybe you wouldn't like that.
Nobody thinks that.
Who would think that?
And
right?
you just wouldn't get the Golden Girls set. That's the thing. Like, you can just mix and match whatever sets that you want to.
Yeah, so. That's true. And because it's not necessarily my style, it's not a game, like when we're using the Board Game Geek ratings, I'm going to give this a 5.5 out of 10. I mean, it's not a game that I'm personally going to go out and get or really look forward to playing that much. With that being said, though, I mean, I enjoy playing the game, and I definitely think that there's people, and maybe Dean, we'll see, who really are going to enjoy this game. So yeah, what do you think?
Yeah, I do enjoy skirmish games, and this is up there. I really, really enjoy this one because it is simple, but it's not too simple. You know, there are interesting choices. I like it. And so for me, all we have played is this base set of Harry Potter, these 6 characters if you count the basic characters. And as it stands, this game's an 8 for me, which
That's
is
good.
a game that I'll play a lot of. Now, if I'm able to get some of these other sets and mix and match, I could easily see this rising up to an 8.5 just based on the fact that there's a lot of replayability in that.
This is our biggest divide maybe ever.
I would think so, yeah.
5.5 up to an 8, so hey, that's good.
Yeah, and that's, very much styles of game.
But that's why it's good to have multiple opinions, I think, don't you?
That's right. If skirmish games are not your style of games, this won't change your mind, I don't think. But if you like skirmish games and you like the different the character sets that they have available, I think you got to check this out because it's a lot of fun. Don't let the Funko, like your thought of this is going to be a simple game, fool you. It's not. There's enough meat here.
I was surprised.
To really grab you and pull you in. So anyway, that's an 8 for me. I could see it rising as I try some of the different sets. And that's a what for you again?
5.5.
5.5. All right, and why don't you tell people how they can get in touch with us?
Sure, if you're enjoying our channel, you can subscribe to our channel and even click that notifications if you would like to be notified when we come out with new videos. We're also on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. All those are at Meepletown Games. We have a podcast on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, a bunch of different things. Just search Meepletown. And finally, we are Board Game Geek Guild 3407.
Thanks for coming down to Meepletown.
Thanks for joining us, and be sure to follow us on Twitter at Meepletown Games, and connect with us on the Meepletown Guild, Guild number 3407, at BoardGameGeek.com, and also subscribe to our podcast and YouTube channel. And until next time, thanks for coming down to Meepletown.